Hello, welcome to Introduction to Databases and SQL course. In this session, we are going to discuss DML commands, data manipulation language commands, namely insert, update, and delete. Let's begin. So DML, we know as the name stands for data manipulation language, and we are going to manipulate the database instance. So DML manipulates the database instance. And here in DML commands, we will not be using the table keyword. So structure is created with the DDL commands. Now we can actually put our data into that particular structure, that is a table. Later we can manage, we can manipulate. So we can update the records, we can delete the records based on certain conditions. So in order to do that, we have three DML commands. One is insert, another is update, and we have delete. So insert, update, and delete. So which will be the important part of CRUD operations. So CRUD, CRUD operations, you have three things here. So when I say CRUD, so you have create data. So you can actually insert it. And retrieve data. That is actually select the query command, update and delete. So in order to do CRUD operations, so these DML commands are very much necessary. Okay, so CRUD means create, retrieve, retrieve, update, and delete. This is what CRUD actually is for. Okay, so now let's understand the insert command. So the query is going to be like this, the insert into. Okay, so insert into statement is used to insert new records in a table. So once your table is ready, we can actually create new records, or we can insert new records into that particular table. And that can be done in two ways. Okay, so the simple insert query can go in two ways. The first way is actually insert into table name, and we have to specify the columns. What are all the columns I would like to insert, and correspondingly their values. Okay, so for example, my table has 10 columns. I'm interested only in 3 columns. So I can mention those 3 columns in any order, and correspondingly I have to give the values. Okay, and the most general way is this. So insert into table name values, and all the values you have to provide. So if your table has 10 columns, now you need to provide all 10 columns in the order, because we are not actually specifying how many columns I am inserting into. So if you want specifically insert the selected columns, then you have to go for the first option. And if at all you want to give every column value, then you have to go for this one. Okay, so there are two ways to insert into a table. Okay, so now let's actually understand this insert in the two ways with this employee table which we have created. So let me go to my employee table. Let me actually see the structure. So this is the structure. I have employee ID, employee name, city, pay, and DOB. So what I do is first I will actually use insert into. So you have to use into keyword actually. Insert into table name employee. So table keyword will not be there. Insert into employee. And you want to give everything, then you have to say like this. Insert into employee value, straight away values. So now I have to give all these field values in order, because I am not specifying anything over here. So I have to give all these things in order. So first is employee ID. So now let's say my employee ID is 100. And employee name, so this time I have an employee called Sam. And employee Sam is actually from London. And the pay scale is actually somewhere 86,000 or 80. Yeah. Then we have some date of birth. So the date of birth is kind of a string actually. So maybe the date of birth is 1996 and 09 and let's say 18. So this is the date of birth. So all the fields I have given. So this is one record. In the same fashion, I want to give one more record. So this record is employee ID is 200 and the name is Rita, and Rita is from, let's say, Bangalore. Okay, and then what's the salary? Okay, so then 75,000, and the date of birth is going to be 1999. Let's say 01 and 06. Okay, so now I am giving straight away two records. Insert into employee values. So I'm saying directly values. So it's my responsibility to give all these fields in the order. Otherwise, it will be an error. Okay, so now select star from employee. Now you have these 5 records actually. So in fact, 6 records. So 3 records with date of birth and 3 records without date of birth actually. Right? So now what I would like to do is I want to use second way of inserting. So here, whatever the insert is there, right? So now I'm going to write like this: insert into EMP. Now I don't want to give every column. So I want to give some columns, select 2 columns. I can give any order actually. Okay, so I would like to have employee ID. I would like to have employee ID and employee name also I can give. Okay, so let's say Geeta, and city I don't know. Sorry, I have to give the titles actually. So here EMP name, the column names actually, and I don't know the cities. City I don't want to give, and pay I know. So pay, let's say some 65,000. So that is nothing but pay, right? Only these 3 things. I know only these 3 things. Now I can actually provide the values. So first one is employee ID. Now the employee ID is going to be, let's say, 201. And what is the name? So we thought of giving Geeta. Yeah, and then pay I know, city I don't know. Yeah, pay I have to give. So let's say 75,000. That's it. This is the second way. So if at all I want to give only the specific columns, I can use. So I can mention any order actually. So now I will give some other order also. This time, now I will give employee ID, pay, and yeah, city. This is the order I want to give. So now I have some 211. The name this time is Harry. Harry. And 85,000. No, I have to give first pay actually, right? So this is the order. So employee ID, pay, and then city. So what city is actually from? Let's say from New York. Okay, so order can be anything, but I have to follow this order. Employee ID is this one, pay is this much, and city is this much. Right now, let me actually. So query is okay. Okay, so these are the 2 ways in which we can actually insert data into our table. So understand, the first way and the most common way is insert into table name values. So what are all the columns you have? All the columns in the order you have to provide. The second thing is you mention the columns in any order, and whatever the columns you have given in the order, you have to provide the values here. Okay, so these are the 2 ways to insert into a table. Right, so now I have so many rows actually. I have 8 rows. Okay, so whereas here employee name is null here, and the city is null here, and my date of birth is also null here. Right, so I need to now, what I need to do is I need to update actually all this data. Okay, I need to update all this data. So what I want to do, I have my employee name is null for this employee ID, and of course I am, the date of birth is also null. So now I want to give employee name and date of birth to this particular 211. So how do I do? Right? It's not insert, already inserted. It's not delete, but we have to do update now. So let's now understand the update statement. So a DML command, that is update. The update statement is used to modify the existing records in a table. So already you have some records existing. Now you want to modify them. Yeah. So now my employee name I have to give. Now I came to know about the name. I have to give it. And date of birth also I would like to give it. So you want to update the existing records in a table, then you have to go for update. You want to modify the existing records, then you have to go for update statement. The syntax will be like this: update, table name, set. So here the keyword is set. For insert, the keyword is into. Here it is set. And what are all the columns you want to set? Column name and value, column name and value, and multiple columns. And you can actually use where condition also. So if you're not using where condition, the updation will be for the whole table. So that's why specifically you should be very much careful, and you have to specify which record you are going to modify. Okay, so for example, here I say update employee set employee name equal to some Vikas, employee name equal to Vikas. So now all employee names will become Vikas, right? So that's why I have to specifically tell which record I am going to modify. So that's so important for update and delete commands actually. So now let me write my update statement. So update employee table, update employee. Now what we need to do? We have to set, we have to use this keyword actually set. So you can write capitals or small, that's not a big issue because SQL is not a case sensitive. Update employee set. Now what I want to do is employee name equal to Vikas. Employee name equal to Vikas. Okay, comma. And I want to set DOB also. DOB equals to, it's also string actually. Now this is 2001 and 02 and let's say 14. Okay. So now what happens? Update EMP, set EMP name because DOB equal to this much. So everything is going to get set. All employee names will become Vikas and all DOBs will become this. That's why what we need to do is we have to specifically say where. So where is the class actually? Where employee ID equal to. So I can actually take where city equal to New York or where pay equal to 85,000, or better is employee ID because employee ID usually be unique actually. So employee ID equal to 211. So now what happens? Only this 211 record will get updated. Otherwise, whole of the records are going to get updated. So update employee set employee name equal to Vikas. Date of birth is, this is what you want to set, where employee equal to 211. So this particular record only is going to be updated now. Now let's see, one row affected, not all rows. If you are not writing where class, all 8 rows will get affected. So now let me select star from employees, select star from EMP. Now you can actually see here that 211 employee name is Vikas and 211 the date of birth equal to whatever the date of birth we have set. So in the same fashion, now I would like to set the city for Geeta. So Geeta from which city actually? So now I can actually set that. So how to do? Update, table name, set city equal to, okay, so Geeta from Hyderabad, let's say. City equal to Hyderabad, where, yeah, so employee ID equal to 201, or where you can also say EMP name equal to Geeta if it is unique. So usually we have to, in the where class, we have to give unique fields only. Of course, all names are unique, so no problem. I can say Geeta. Otherwise, I'm giving employee ID is better. Now one row affected. Now Geeta's city also got set. So it's a Hyderabad actually. right? But date of birth was not set. So now we can actually set the date of birth as well for Geeta. Okay, so what we are saying, earlier we have set city equal to Hyderabad. Now let's give date of birth. Okay, so here instead of saying city, I will say DOB. I can write in a single command, but I am writing differently. So one by one I am setting. So here, so let me test actually 1998, and so it's actually let's say 06, and of course 15. Okay, so this is how we are setting the date of birth to Geeta. So it is set. Now you can actually see the date of birth also set. Now I would like to set date of birth for these three people. Okay, 123, 199 and 139. So now I can update it, right? I can modify it. So now let me modify all of them. So update EMP set DOB equal to yeah. So I have to give some DOB. Let's say 1990 and 07 and 01. Okay. So if I say like this, update EMP set DOB, so everybody's DOB will like this. So not only just first three, everybody's DOB, right? So update EMP set DOB this much where DOB equal to null. Where DOB equal to null, let's give this particular date of birth. Okay, now let's see what has happened. Yeah, so it's not actually taking the null as a value. So that's why zero rows are affected. So now null you cannot give. Whenever you are giving, you are matching, you cannot actually match with a null value. Okay, so you have to provide a value whenever you are setting the thing. So now what we need to do, we have to update that. So where DOB null, you cannot actually match with a null value. So where you can say employee ID. Okay, employee ID. I want to set everybody actually. So what I do is where employee ID in, and I can actually give all these employee IDs 123 comma 199 comma 139. Okay, so this is actually in operator. I will explain this when we discuss the select or the query command. What I'm saying is for employee IDs which are in 123, 199, 139, set the date of birth to same actually. So now three rows affected. Update employee set DOB equal to so and so where employee ID is in all in of this. Of course, I can write without using in also. I can say employee ID equal to 123 comma and or employee ID equal to 199 or employee ID equal to 139. I can replace this with or, but these in or and all these things we will discuss when we are actually discussing about the query command, right? So as of now, our concentration is on update statement. So update employee set. So DOB value we want to set, and for the employee ID. So now what we are doing for all the three employees, we are giving the same date of birth. So let me actually check. Now first three people date of birth is same. Okay, yeah. So now everything was set. So we have updated. So this is about the update statement, right? So the update statement is used to modify the existing records in a table. Now let's actually do the delete statement. So the delete statement is used to delete existing records in a table. Existing records in a table. Okay, so either one record or all the records you want to delete, you can delete simply. Okay, so what is the syntax? Delete from table name and the condition. If you are not giving where condition, everything will get deleted, right? So delete from, let's try actually now. So let's do system CLS. Now do DESC. Let's see the structure. Yeah, so I have all these 5 fields actually. Now you write delete from EMP So delete from EMP means everything will go. All the data will be going. Okay. So delete from EMP where, so you have to specify actually what is the condition. Where employee ID. So let's see the data first of all. So let's have the data in hand. Now write the query. So delete from EMP where, yeah, what we will delete? So we will delete now 139. Okay, so employee ID 139. Delete from employee EMP where EMP ID equal to 139. So that record is going to get deleted. Now we can see query okay, one record affected. Now we will not see Sham. Sham is not there in the picture. Okay, so now you want to delete was as well. So now you can actually say delete from employee where, now I want to, of course, Pune is there, was is there, right? So it's actually Pune is unique, was is unique. So anything actually you can use. So delete from employee where, so I'm saying now employee name equal to was. Are you okay? 0 rows affected. Okay, so we don't have VASS. We have VA, yes, VAAS, right? Yeah, now you can actually see query okay, 1 row affected. So now you can actually see select star from employee and was is also not there. So we have deleted 2 records, right? So because, however, why I deleted is the date of birth is same for was and Ram and even for Sham. So I deleted so that now the date of birth is unique for everybody. Okay, so this is how we can delete. So if at all you want to delete everything, so delete from employee. So before you delete from employee, what I do is, so I will create a new table. So create table, I'm going to create employee table as select star from EMP. Now a new table is going to get created, which is employee DSE employee, which has data as well. So now I say select star from employee. So I have 2 tables with the same data. So now you can actually see show tables. So there are 2 tables in your DB. So what is the DB? My DB, right? We are using my DB. There are 2 tables. So 2 tables are having same data. So now what I want to do, I want to delete data. So delete from EMP. Delete from EMP. So everything will go off. So now you say select star from EMP. Nothing is there. Okay. Select star from EMP, right? So select star from EMP, there is nothing. It is just like truncate only. You just have the structure employee, but there is no data. But beforehand, what we did, we have moved all this data to employee. So for the employee, I have the data. So I have 2 tables. I still have 2 tables, but my EMP table has no data. My EMP table has no data. I have deleted it. Right? Now I want to get back the data. I want to get back the data. Okay. So I have the data in employee. I have the data in employee. So select star from employee. I have the data. I want to get back this data from this employee. So for that, what we can actually do is, let me actually tell you. So this command, this is a useful thing actually here. What we can do is, we can do something like this. So inserting records from other table. Inserting records from other table. So employee table has the data. EMP table has no data. So now what I do, insert into this table, that is EMP values. So these values I am selecting from other table actually. So select star from the other table, right? So let's actually write that. So what I can do here is system CLS. So now I have this employee table, right? So I want to get all this data to my employee. So for that, what I can do is insert into EMP. Insert into EMP. Okay, values. Okay, insert into EMP values. Where are the values? So these values are actually from here. Select star from employee. Okay. I think values is also not required. Select insert into employee, select star from insert into EMP, select star from employee. I think this will be fine. So values is required only when you are selecting a specific things actually. Okay, so what I did here, I have written the query like this: insert into EMP, select star from employee. Insert into EMP, selecting by selecting everything from the employee actually. Now I will say select star from EMP. Now I have my EMP also has data. Now my employee also has data. Right, so two tables are now populated. Right, so this is one of the useful command actually. So you can actually insert one table of information into other table actually. Okay, so let me go to my slide here and tell you. So insert into new student, select star from old student. This values is not required. Values is required only when you are selecting a few things actually. So you want to insert into this table only few columns. Then you have to say values, and then you have to give from which columns you are selecting them. Okay, like that we have to use, right? So this is one of the useful commands. So let me actually write that command also. How we can do is, how you can actually insert from other table. You want to insert from other table. So that will be like this: insert into your table, right? So whatever your table, insert into whatever your table is there that you have to write. Select star from other table, whatever the other table is there that you have to write here. So this is also works actually. So this is about DML commands, right? Insert command. So insert in two ways, then insert from other table. Then while you are updating, so make sure that you will use where condition, otherwise the whole table is going to get updated. And deleting also, make sure you are using where condition, otherwise everything is going to get deleted. Right, and yeah, so coming to the keywords, insert uses into, update uses set, and delete uses from actually. So this is about the DML commands. So hope you have understood, and in the next class we will see about some basics of the select query. Later we will actually go again back to DDL, where we can actually work with constraints. So hope you have understood, and see you in the next session.